In today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet a flower power flower. So these are super simple. We have 2 rows in the center to create that center of our flower, and then we work 3 rounds for the petals. We create little petal stems and then work half double crochets around, finishing with a slip stitch around the entire flower to give it a nice little edge. You can make these in any color with any size hook that you have available. They make great appliques to sew onto things, or you can kind of join them together because they are a 6-sided petal and create curtains or blankets or any other sort of fabric panel using these flowers. For this tutorial, I am going to be using a 5mm crochet hook, just some impeccable 4-weight acrylic yarn. This color is Orchid Pink. You'll need scissors and a yarn needle to weave in those ends, and I find it helpful to have a stitch marker for the final round as you're slip stitching around so you know where the start and the finish is. Once you have everything together, let's crochet a flower power flower. To start, we want to work a magic ring. If you're not familiar or don't like working with a magic ring, you can always chain 4 and slip stitch to that first chain to create a ring. I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to work 6 half double crochets right back into that ring. Once you have your 6 half double crochets, you can pull your ring closed. We're going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet that we did, so that first stitch, to join and create round number 1. For round number 2, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work half double crochets again. We're going to work 2 half double crochets into that first stitch that we chained out of. There's 1. I'm going to do that one more time into that same stitch, and 2. Into the next stitch we're going to do the same thing, 2 half double crochets. At the end of round 2 you're going to have 12 total stitches. So you're going to work 2 half double crochets into each stitch around for a total of 12 stitches at the end of round 2. Once you've worked your 2 half double crochets into each stitch, you'll have this kind of false stitch here. If you're unsure, always count your stitches: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There's my 12th one, that first one, so I don't need to work any more, and I'm just going to slip stitch to that first stitch to join. That is the center of your flower. If you are changing colors for the petals, you can fasten off and join your new color in any stitch around that main circle. If you're not changing colors, you're going to go right ahead into the petals. For each petal, we're going to work a chain 7, and into that first chain, so we skip this chain right here, into that first chain away from your hook, we're going to work a single crochet, into the next a single crochet, into the next a single crochet, and we're working single crochets all the way back down that chain. So just work 1 single crochet into every stitch back down that chain 7. We now need to join this petal back onto our main center. We're going to skip that stitch right here. It's the stitch that we've been working out of. So we're going to go right into the next one and we're going to single crochet. And this will join that petal down onto our main flower center. Into the next stitch we want to slip stitch, and we're going to repeat this petal stem again. Chain 7, and a single crochet into that first stitch away from the hook, that first chain, and a single crochet into each chain all the way back down that chain 7. Into that next stitch we're going to single crochet, into the next stitch we slip stitch, and then we're going to repeat it again. You're going to repeat these petal stems all the way around. You should have a total of 6 petal stems at the end of round 3. I am on my last petal. I'm going to single crochet to join that down onto the main center. You have 1 stitch left before that first petal that you did, and you're just going to slip stitch. For round 4, we're going to work half double crochets around each of these petal stems. This will make them a little bit more full. You're going to skip that next stitch, and into the next one you're going to work a half double crochet, and you're going to work a half double crochet into the next 3. So a total of a half double crochet up the petal into the next 4, and that will get you up to the top. You have this last stitch left, which is the top of your petal, and you're going to work 3 half double crochets into that stitch. We are now going to work a half double crochet into the next 6. So sometimes this top one can get lost underneath those 3 half double crochets that you did to kind of get around the top of the petal. So don't forget that one. We're going to work a half double crochet into that one and a half double crochet into the next 5. So a total of 1 half double crochet over the next 6 stitches. When you're down at the bottom, you should have 2 stitches in between each petal. So into that first stitch we're going to single crochet, and into the next stitch we're going to slip stitch. And now we can work this petal filler again. We're going to work all of those half double crochets up and around and down again. So always skip that next stitch and go into the very next one and work a half double crochet. It's 1 half double crochet into the next, that's 2, half double crochet into the next, that's 3, and a half double crochet into the next, that's 4, and you should now be at the top. We've got that last stitch right at the top. You're going to work 3 half double crochets into that stitch. We're now going to work a half double crochet down the other side, so into the next 6 stitches. and you have 2 left at the bottom, single crochet into the next and slip stitch into the next. And there is petal number 2 done. We're going to do this all the way around for each petal, and then I will meet you back here where we started for round 5. So I've got my 2 stitches left in between the petals. As always, I'm going to single crochet into the next and slip stitch into that last stitch. And that completes the round for round 4. Pick up my stitch marker and just place it through that last stitch that I made. That way I know as I'm slip stitching around all of these petals, I know where to stop. If you don't mark your starting spot, you can lose track of where you are, and all of a sudden the petals all kind of look the same and you're not sure if you have already slip stitched in that petal or not. So that just is a reminder that that is where I started and where I need to stop slip stitching around these petals. So we're just going to slip stitch into each stitch very loosely all the way around. We're not skipping any. We're just finding each stitch and loosely slip stitching all around our flower. And I'm coming up onto my stitch marker so I know this is where I end. I'm going to pop that off. And I'm going to work a slip stitch into that stitch, and then to finish you can just cut your yarn. I like to go into this space right here underneath sort of the start of this first petal and just slip stitch like that, and then I can cut my yarn, but you can slip stitch anywhere to join that round and fasten off. You can weave in your ends. I've left most of my ends intact in the event that I want to stitch these cute little flowers onto a bag or another piece of fabric or a blanket or something. They're really fun, really easy, and they're very reminiscent of those flower power flowers that we saw back in the 1970s. You can make them in a multitude of different colors, and you can even create a different color center to make them pop even more. I hope you enjoyed this quick flower power tutorial. Until next time, happy crocheting everyone. Bye.